What's good, guys? I just wanted to make a quick market overview video. So the market's opened up pretty strong today, and they're pretty green overall. As you see, we pumped at the open on pretty much everything. This is SPY and QQQ, which is tech, also pumped at the open. So we're pretty strong today, especially after yesterday we had a big tank and then a big recovery, but then we had a weak close, which isn't very bullish. But yeah, so far this morning we're looking pretty good. And I'd like to mention that even though these past couple days haven't been too bad, we had this big gap up, then filled it, and then recovered it quickly. On the daily chart on both SPY and QQQ, the 50 EMA crossed below the 200-day, which isn't a good sign at all. That means we're more in a downtrend and we're just looking weaker. So don't forget, even though we're having a strong couple days, we're still mostly in a downtrend, and I am honestly expecting to retest these lows down here around 481, and I hope we do, because the lower we go, the more room we'll have to grow. So like I said, this is SPY, and this is the 5-minute chart. So time is currently 10:15 when I'm recording this, and as you see, SPY is currently retesting this previous high of day zone, and it's rejecting it. So we got into it here, but then had a big red candle down, and then right here we had a huge pump, and then we wicked it completely. So that's why these previous high of day rejection zones are so important and strong. It's one of my favorite things to use in terms of support and rejection. So these two orange lines are pre-market high and pre-market low. And we broke the pre-market high pretty early on into the day at about 9:35, which is a bullish sign, and we've been holding above it. We've kind of just been wedged in between the previous high of day zone and the pre-market high. But since we're still above this pre-market high, I'm still looking for us to go higher and retest the actual previous high of day level from yesterday, which was 544.30. So levels to look out for today would be previous high of day rejection zone, like I said, especially at the actual previous high of day, which was 544.30. If we continue to reject off this and we kind of retest the pre-market high, I'm looking for more downside because we just failed to break out higher than yesterday's high. But if we clear above this, we could honestly retest 550, but that might be a stretch. But definitely like 546.40. And also, I'd like to mention, I kind of touched base on this already, but since we're already above the pre-market high, this is now a support zone. If we're under it, it's a rejection zone. But now that we are above, it can act as a support. So like I said, if we just stay wedged in between this is a good sign, and hopefully we can break out and test this high of day and eventually higher. Another level I'll be looking at is the pre-market low at 536.15, which can be a great support level. And then below that, I'll be looking at the previous low of day zone and the previous low of day itself at 533.87. That can be a great support. And then if we drop below, but I don't think we will even get this low today, below it'll act as a rejection zone. And yeah, those are most of the levels I'll be looking at today. And I also have this orb zone set up, which is opening range breakout. As you see, we're still kind of in this, and right now we just broke below the pre-market high, which isn't a good sign, but we'll see if we stay in this orb zone. If we break below, I'll be looking to retest 538 and then 536, and then the pre-market low. And I'm not sure if this is a news candle as I'm recording this, but this is not looking good. If we break below, like I said, 538 and 537, then the pre-market low at 536.15. And if we break above, I'm going to retest the previous high of day and potentially higher into 546.40. And yeah, those are my SPY levels. And then QQQ is the same thing. I'll be looking at previous high of day zone, which hasn't even entered today, and then previous low of day zone, pre-market high, which we just crossed under, and then the pre-market low. But I don't really trade QQQ. I look at it just as the basis for tech, but I mostly trade SPY. So yeah, we just broke below the orb zone right here. So I will be looking at puts now, but it is kind of moving fast, and I would want to retest of the bottom of the orb zone before getting in. And not sure if there's news, so it's not looking good for today. We actually will probably end up testing previous low of day zone. And I want to talk about a couple stocks that I'm watching now. MSTR has been in a daily base for a very long time. As you can see, it's been in this falling wedge for a while, and today did break out, and it was green, but pretty sure there's news, like I said. So it's not really looking good anymore, but if we do stay above this, then we stay above 310, then I am bullish on it, and possibly retesting 338, and then even 350, and maybe even higher if Bitcoin stays up, and especially above 85,000 today. And it also just broke out on a daily base on a falling wedge right here that's been in for a very long time, since January. So this is looking good alongside MSTR. And then NVDA just had good news about AI infrastructure in the United States because of the tariffs and other factors. So that's good news to the United States and NVIDIA. So it looks strong if it can hold above 115, which was a little bit higher than yesterday's high of day. But if it holds above 115, I'm looking for it to test 120 and even higher, possibly like 125. And yeah, like I said, market's pretty green today so far, but we did just have that tank. Not sure what it was from, but we are holding above this orb again. See, that's why I didn't want to chase breaking out of the orb zone. That's why you shouldn't either. Yeah, that's it for today. I just want to get this video out earlier, but never got to it before market open. So hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you think. Peace.